Think of the best games ever made. The games that push the envelope and really innovate. Mario 64, Doom, Halo, Combat Evolved, Bug for the Sega Saturn. This game isn't any of those, but it's pretty good. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven was one of the best games made for the PlayStation 2. This was among the handful of games to practically memorize front to back because I played it during that magical point in life where everything you do is more interesting and fun. Before the existential dread took over. But there's nothing a 10-year-old me enjoyed more than doing cool ninja stuff in a game clearly inappropriate for me to be playing at the time.
Gruesome and grisly video games.
And upon a recent revisit, I can honestly say this game holds up really well for it being made in the 6th generation of consoles. And even though it was made in the year of our Lord 2003, I played this jam in 2009, and honestly couldn't tell the game was that old at the time. Of course, today you can critique its pixel count or frame rate, but the human eye can only see up to 480p 30 FPS anyway, so I don't see the big deal, to be honest. Wrath of Heaven is the third game in the Tenchu series, being developed by K2 instead of the series' previous developer, Acquire. This was the first in the series made for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and it definitely shows when compared visually to the first two games, which were only available on the PlayStation 1. As was tradition in this generation of consoles, the port to the Xbox was superior in various ways, having additional multiplayer characters, single-player missions, online functionality, and improved visuals. It even got a new name, being branded as Tenchu, Return from Darkness. There were also two additional ports. In 2009, the game was ported to the PSP by From Software, using the Xbox port as a baseline but removing multiplayer support. And a primitive mobile game was released in 2005, using 2D graphics. For the best experience though, you should really be playing on the Xbox or PlayStation 2, or emulated. Only if you own the game, of course. Each stealth kill grants you a funny looking symbol in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, and if you collect them all, a special ninja skill is unlocked. These can greatly increase your combat and stealth effectiveness. At the end of each mission, you are given a rank ranging from Thug on the low end to Grandmaster at the top. If you stealth kill a ton of enemies that are only spotted a handful of times, you will easily be awarded this rank. If you weren't sold on these factors alone, each mission has multiple enemy layouts for you to play as well after you've completed the basic layout, adding a considerable amount of replayability to the game. In addition, there are 3 separate campaigns for the 3 playable characters. You can honestly sink tens of hours into the game and hundreds if you're going for a 100% playthrough. The story is passable. It's not bad, but it definitely isn't earth-shattering or anything, although it was enough to keep me invested in the game to complete it on all 3 campaigns. Reviews for this game are all over the place, ranging from just average to a straight up 10 out of 10. As time has passed, opinions have generally turned more favorable. In 2015, Eurogamer described Wrath of Heaven as the apex of the series. Since there hasn't been a Tenchu game produced since 2009, there has been ample time to reflect on the series. Although this game is nearly 20 years old at this point, it doesn't feel very clunky or awkward to play. It's obviously not as advanced as modern games, but you can see how Wrath of Heaven and games like it have inspired more recent games. 2019 Sekiro comes to mind as a game with similar themes and gameplay. The From Software community manager even confirmed that Tenchu was an initial influence during development, before diverging and taking on more of a unique identity. In conclusion, Wrath of Heaven is 100% worth playing, and holds up remarkably well.